would you be able to explain now the lifesaver role versus the lightworker role? How are they different?
Okay, so the light workers, they are on this planet to be conduit to the energies. So they are batteries, shall we say. They are receiving the energies that are being poured onto the planet, and they are collecting those energies and grounding those energies into the planet. They are also taking negative energies from people, lower density energies, and they're also grounding them into the planet. So it is the light workers, they're really frequency holders, and they are vibrating at a higher rate to be able to be the power pack, the battery charger, the conduit of energy. So they are very busy being the transformers of energy. So there needs to be a buffer, and there are some very big light workers on this planet that are big transmitters of energy. They can hold a lot of energy and spread a lot of energy out. Some of the people who are going to be lifesavers can be both, can be able to hold on to a lot of energy and be the conduits of energy, and they also can naturally go and be the lifesavers. Not every light worker can be a lifesaver because some light workers are actually unsure of themselves, and they actually don't know that they have this power. Some of them are still in a dark depression because they believe they don't actually believe in themselves. They are marinated in the heavier energies, and they haven't worked their way up through. And by the time that they work their way up through, it will be quite past the broadcast, the final broadcast, and so they won't have enough time to do their own healing. So there are a lot of people who did want to take on this role as being lifesavers, but they actually got distracted too much doing their own, marinating themselves too much in their own roles. And so they haven't been able to shake off the lessons that they needed to learn and grow from. They're still very much in learning mode. So there are people who did not want to be light workers, who have been big empaths and have done other things to help humanity along the way, who will be lifesavers. It's a lot. You're asking a lot of the body and the vehicle to be both, and so some have chosen not to because it's just too much. So again, it comes down to individual people, individual purposes. So it is different. On the new Earth, there won't necessarily be the need for the light workers because everyone will be at that more advanced level of dealing with energy. So their roles will be complete, and they will have different roles and tasks to do on the new Earth. The lifesavers will still be supporting and grounding people into the new Earth. So it is roles. They can be intertwined. The big purpose of the lifesavers is to go around and activate people who are still in shock and still are unawakened spiritually. They need to be connected. You're tapping their energy, you're activating them. There is lots that the lifesavers are doing at a very small pace. You only need to be in by proxy of these big light savers to be able to be activated. And so the lifesavers can do a lot quite quickly and profoundly. Don't need to hold hands and really drag them kicking and screaming into awakening. It's very quick. But there are people who do want to have bigger conversations and understand things more profoundly. Those people that want the bigger conversations, they also want to then upgrade, evolve into their crystalline bodies sooner too. And they know that this is a calling now. They've had this confirmation of the truth through their broadcasts. They will want to help as well and be part of this mission to help others. So it's a lot that's going to go on in a very small space of time.
Okay, thank you. One thing that a lot of starseeds might feel they're doing a bad job of grounding light or bringing energy into the planet, high frequency energy into the planet, because they experience depression. So is it possible to experience depression and also be doing a good job of bringing the energy into Earth?
Yes, that is a very good indication that you are doing a good job, but you're just holding on to the emotions as if it's yours, and it's not yours. The negative energy that makes you the lower vibrational emotions have never really ever been the light workers' negative energy. Most of them who feel depressed is because they are holding on to the negative energy that they are transmuting through as if it's their own. And there's a lot of, they feel already so disconnected from the planet, they feel disconnected from others, and so they feel bad that they can't understand why they don't feel like they fit in. And so they feel comforted knowing and marinating themselves in those lower emotions to justify how they feel. They want the label of being depressed. They need to feel the depression. So then it can make them feel like, oh, well, this is the reason why I feel so terrible, is because I've got this depression. People are normalizing depression now. And so the light worker has been a very highly functional light worker and doing an amazing job behind the scenes, but feeling depressed while doing it. And this is why they recruit themselves from people, because they intuitively know that the more people that they're around, the more the workload will be for them. And so it is, they keep themselves at a distance from the lower vibrational people because it's just too hard, way too hard for them, because they're such empaths. But they don't understand it's other people's energy that they are holding on to and reacting emotionally to. So yes, you can be doing an incredibly good job, even though you could be incredibly depressed. It is a protection. Being depressed and being reclusive is a protection from the energy vampires and from the other issues that people could be exposing themselves to. So depression is definitely part and parcel, and this is the reason why a lot of the starseeds will go into mind-altering states with drugs, with alcohol, with anything to distract themselves from the lower vibrational energy emotions that they collect on their life path, their purpose. Once they empower themselves, once they understand what this energy is, and why they're feeling so poor, and it actually has nothing to do with them, they're holding on to it as if it is theirs, then they can fully transmute their energy without saving any of it. And they actually will grow. But it is a lesson. It is a lesson for them to know themselves, to be able to stop and question, why do I feel so low? Is it me? Am I doing something wrong? And sort of question everything. And as soon as they start questioning it, that lower energy goes. So you have to. It's like if you're a big bucket and you're collecting lots of swamp water, and the sediment of the swamp water sits on the bottom, and you're feeling all of the emotions on the bottom, and so you have to kind of open up all of the channels and heal and release. And a lot of the light workers hold on to emotions, and you can't release anything when you don't actually realize it's not yours. And so you're holding on to it, wondering why do I feel depressed? Why do I feel depressed? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? And the answer is nothing. Nothing is wrong. You have to realize that you're holding on to something that's not yours. And as soon as you understand that, then you feel better, because there is still that stigma about depression being attached to someone that's potentially insane or crazy or mentally unwell. And those stigmas do make people feel judged and do not make them feel empowered. And it's the whole purpose why they want to put you on medication. And it's never really for your benefit.
Okay, thank you very much for that answer. I think that'll bring a lot of relief to many people who might be listening to this. So would you be able to explain to us what a wayshower is?
A wayshower is supposed to show people the light, to show them that there is more than just a one lifetime example, to show them that there is energy, to show them that there is us, to bring them to us. So the wayshowers are to shine light, to show the light, to move people into the direction of away from religions, so to speak, away from the information that you have been told in your mainstream media, to show them the way of the truth, to guide them to the truth. Unfortunately, most of these wayshowers are basing what they feel is the truth by completely lost people who aren't quite sure what the truth is. And so it's the blind leading the blind in most cases, unfortunately. And this is a typical example of how people want to be helpful to humanity, have some of the information and try and drag people to follow their truth. Most of the wayshowers haven't done their own inner work to know what the truth is. They are following all of the Chinese whispers of what the truth is. And as we know, most people don't know the full truth about what's about to happen. Most people don't know about the life-saving roles. Most people don't know about the shift and the evacuation of this planet. So how can the wayshowers truly show the way when they are being told that the 50 is just merely a mindset, that is all, nothing else is going to happen? So these unfortunate people who are very proud of their wayshower titles are trying to guide people without a map. And it is ego-based, and there is just how light, New Age, and some light workers need to feel important. Now, they are all important, but when you've got to label yourself as a special being who's got a special role for humanity, this is when ego kicks in more, and they don't even care if they're showing the way to the truth or not. They want to be important. They want to impress people with their connections and their ayahuasca experiences, and they're this and they're that. They don't really care. They're not truly wanting to find the truth, because it's hard to be able to get to the real truth right now. You have had to do a lot of growth. You have got to have experienced a lot, know your intuition, not just accept whatever people say as truth. You actually need to find your own intuition so profoundly that you can call bullshit and limited mindsets versus the higher truths. And not that many people have that distinction right now. And so therefore, if someone keeps telling you, hey, look, follow me, I'm a wayshower, and yet they're showing you up the garden path, it is confusing people who want to know the truth, because they can't make discernment. Someone's telling me they know the way, and yet it feels very confusing and lost and doesn't resonate with me, because it doesn't seem like it's the bigger truth, because it's not the bigger truth. And so this is why so many people who know the bigger truth roll their eyes at all these little names that they're calling each other and these little roles, because what they're claiming to be able to show the way with is not even going to be their reality. This may have been a fourth dimensional reality, where they believe that they're going to create a new earth, a better earth on this earth. And we know that's simply not the case. So they mean well, but their egos are limiting them. They're not actually doing their own research, and they just feel like they've got a little bit of information and they're treating it as if that's all the information. So there's many different names for people like this. So we understand that people want to help humanity, but you must do your own research, and you must not blindly trust what a big influencer is saying to the masses.
Yeah, thank you. So Jo would like to know, what will her lifesaver role be, and can you show her what she'll be doing?
Yeah, she will be connecting with others and reassuring them what's about to take place is big. They need to be able to process all of the mistruths. It won't be about talking to people about the new earth, because that's just too much of a big step. It will be talking to people about, yes, we have been lied to. Yes, it is very shocking. Yes. And be able to help people guide themselves morally through processing how we've all been lied to so much. So it is about reassurance. It is about supporting people who don't know how to cope with all of this collapsed systems and structures. So that is really when you verbally are talking to people, when you have the lifesaver role, that is the reassurance that you need. You don't need to be telling them about the new earth, because they will not be ready for it. They need to be able to process how badly humanity has been left down the path. And as they evolve themselves, as people have the bigger mindsets and see, they will start with the energies as well being bigger, and the frequencies of the energy, people are going to be more intuitive. That's the gift that people get after the broadcast, the final broadcast, is that people are upgraded. And so, people just need to understand who they are and why they're feeling these bigger mindsets. And it is not necessarily to talk about the evacuation of this earth, because it will just feel too much. That may be towards the end of December or middle of December, you can start telling people, but it is just too much for the average person to understand that this planet is dying, and that for safety we have to raise our vibration. So just getting people to accept what the information was on the broadcasts is a very important part of the life-saving role.
Okay, thank you. So the word transcendence, is that what is really happening when we shift into 5D?
Yes, you transcend into your crystalline bodies as you shift onto the new earth. And so it is, yes, it is one very good official word to call what is about to happen. You're all transcending. You're not dying. You are merely evolving. And of course, there are some who are going to use this as exit points to go back to source, to rethink about what their new life plan and strategy is going to be, where they want to learn. So yes, transcendence is actually a very good term for what is happening, the event in December, the Ascension, the Transcendence to move. It is all very positive.
Thank you. So could we call in Ashtar now?
Yes, hello.
Hello, Ashtar. Would you have a message for humanity at this time?
Yes, to stay strong. Those who have been connected to us have all experienced our dreams that we have implanted in with them. We have been connecting with our families and the people who have needed to have been awoken at this time. We have been very busy to connect and to awaken the people who needed us to awaken them. And they needed to be awoken early because they have those other roles. So there is not a coincidence if you have felt like you have been exposed to a being that is us. If you are in fear, you will think it is negative, but most of us who are connecting to you, most of the people we're connecting to have already gone past fear. They've already evolved, they know that they are protected, and so they're open to us. And so we would have only been connecting to the people who are open to us. A lot of people are connecting with us right now because they know something big is happening, and they also know that we're connecting to them. So there are a lot of people who are channeling us with information the best that they can. And so it is important for these messages to get out there because it's the truth, because people are very curious and they want to know what path they're supposed to take on board, and they want to know why we keep presenting ourselves to them. But we are profoundly activating those who need to be activated at this time. It is a ranking of sorts, and we have gone, as we promised in life contracts, to go and awaken we don't want to say more senior family members, but they have got very big importance to humanity, so they did need to be awakened first and prior, which we know is hard because when you have this information before it happens, you have to have a lot of faith in the process.
Okay, thank you. Is it possible also, would you be able to tell us, there's a lady on Facebook named Grace Solaris, and she claimed that she had been upgraded on one of the ships. She said this on Facebook. Is this true?
She was showing how people will be upgraded, but she was not upgraded. She assumes that she has been upgraded into the fifth dimension, which is not the truth. It will not be happening to people before the broadcast. So she has got wishful thinking, and she is being upgraded like everyone, but she has not been upgraded into her crystalline body.
Okay, thank you, Ashtar. I'm just going to call back the subconscious.
Okay. Joanne wants to know if that Grace woman was saying that she was upgraded into her crystalline body.
She claimed that she claimed that she had been upgraded to her crystalline body, yes.
No, she only was showing how it was to happen. And her ego has jumped ahead of her. You would see quite clearly if she has been upgraded. And have you seen any footage of her being upgraded without filters?
No, we haven't seen that, no.
Yeah, so she is hiding behind the truth. You know she is not telling the truth. She wants to be a special unicorn, like so many. But those are the people that only get shown information. They never actually get the roles because their egos just can't handle it.
Yes, she also claimed to have experienced a medbed upgrade on the ships, and that was the method by which she had a crystalline body activation.
Right, so you don't have crystalline upgrades. You don't get upgraded to your crystalline body on a med bed. The med beds are for medical reasons, medical health issues, medical stuff. Crystalline bodies are not medical. You are just evolving into your crystalline bodies. So she, once again, was showing the technologies of how people are going to be given an experience. And she has, with her ego, jumped on board with what she was showing and assumed that she had those. and she was only shown that. It never happened to her. Or she was shown when she does get that, but it has not happened to her. So she's trying to brag and boast about that experience is a little bit delusional on her part.
So it seems she might have had quite a profound vision, but not in fact experienced it herself.
That's correct. And she should know the difference. She should know that her body has not changed. She should know that. But she wants to have the drama and to believe into it. So she will convince herself, but she's not showing you videos of herself because there is nothing noticeably different. It is all in her mind. And while it was a very real lucid dream that she experienced these things in, they didn't actually happen to her. If she'd been honest and said she has seen the medbed technology and that we are going to be upgraded to crystalline bodies, that could have been enough. And that should have been enough for her. That was a very privileged experience for her to have. But it wasn't enough for her. She needed to be even more special than that. And so there she has lied. And she is claiming she has the evolved body. She should have, therefore, been able to video it and be in front of everyone. But the fact is she's not, and she can't. She should be able to prove it. You don't need to brag about it in written words. You should be able to video yourself showing people your crystalline body. So it's obvious that she has not truly, honestly had those experiences.
Okay, yeah. I haven't cleared this question with Joanne, but and you can say if she doesn't want to answer it, but could you tell us a bit more about physically how we will be taken to the ships to have the upgrade or activation, sorry?
You will, we will come and collect you, and you will be beamed up, and it will be, some people will not notice it at all. Some people will notice that there is something happening. It will not be painful. It will be like a fine tuning situation. So it is more energy that's put onto your body, and it will be pushed. Like the levels of the crystalline will be pushed through higher, and so then that will drop away and unactivate the carbon parts of your body, and it will change and it will dissolve away.
Okay, thank you. And will we need to be outside so that we can be accessed by the ships, or are we all right to be inside during this?
It is kind of a lower dimensional spaceship, so it's sort of like a localized one. You won't be going to the big motherships for these things. They can be done quite easily with the smaller ships that are going around and doing this simultaneously to a lot of others. So it is very easy. You will meet other local lightsavers on boards. You may not recall the experience of the upgrade, but it is very quick, and you are all connected in one way or another.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. I'm just wondering now if you might have a hard time convincing people to get off the ship once they're on. But
that's absolutely, and they not only will they not want to go back down, because most won't. This is why we have to do it cloaked, and also when some people will still be in shock that they're there, and so we kind of anesthetize you a bit, numb you and relax you while we do this. It is very quick and easy and painless, but it is, we're also upgrading your mindset as well as your physical body, and giving you reassurances and telling you more about your role. It is very simultaneous, everything. It is overwhelming because you have a lot happen, but you all can cope with it because this is what your path was. So it is very easy. go with the flow, don't resist it, obviously, and trust that we know how to calm your bodies. We know how to relax them, and we also know how to support and nurture the bodies because we've designed those bodies. So it's all very well planned. It is nothing to fear.
Yeah, it sounds like we'll be in safe hands. Would Joanne like to know now a date for when that'll happen, some confirmation, or is she all right now just to leave dates out of this?
We've shown her the 6th and 5th of November before you even asked if she didn't want to know. So it is soon for her. She is starting to feel the adrenaline of the worry of the body kicking in now, because the body is scared of this change. But that's fine. The body has been worried about the change anyway. So it is fine. It is not her. She is not the body. The body is merely just a coat that she is wearing. So it is fine.
Okay. Is Joanne all right to keep going, or?
Yeah, she's totally fine. She's doubting the dates though, because she's like, well, if the broadcast happens a week after if the broadcast happens a week after the elections, isn't that already going to be like the 8th then? So why would she need to be, why did we give her the date of the 5th and the 6th? Doesn't make sense to her. And she knows that we are bad with numbers and dates. So she's kind of like, well, whatever, guys. And, we do want to tell her that she does get the upgrade. It may not be 100% obvious to her when it happens, but she will know when it does happen. So she just has to trust that she can't get out of it at this point, and yeah, she can just resist it or not. It's up to her, but it's happening regardless.
Okay, thank you. So, Andrew, now, would you be able to tell us about his lifesaver role?
We want to make a joke about Andre because we know he will really appreciate it, but you also are very serious, and so are we. So, yes, he still had the opportunity. You all had the opportunities. He was the last to kind of accept it. It is a big change for him. He wants this role, absolutely. His town needs him to take on this role. He is more of an influencer in his town. His mother and him are more influencers in the town that he really realizes. So he will need to be a lifesaver, to be able to profoundly help people. And when he helps one person, he helps their whole family. So, it is important for him to do this life-saving role, and he is excited about it. But it was more like, while you and Joanne accepted the role, knowing, well, this is good for this is good for humanity. Andre wanted us to come and beg him to do it, and then he would and ah. So he kind of didn't want to raise his hand, even though he already has raised his hand. He wanted to be a little special unicorn where we could come up and beg him for him saving first, and he would think about it and then be like, okay, but only on my terms. And we find this funny with him. And that's how he wants to play it. He doesn't want to have anything enforced upon him, and nor should he. I mean, he has free will. And obviously, if he was adamant that he did not want to change, we would honor that. But we know deep down he has always wanted to be special and important. And this is one of the parts of how he is going to be special and important for humanity. So we knew he was going to play this game with us, and we did not tell him straight away that he was going to be a lightsaver. We're like, well, if you want to, let us know. We were trying to be cool to him, how he is trying to be cool with others and this role. So we kind of played him at the game, and he was a little bit worried that he wasn't going to be good enough. And we laugh at him when he eats his pizzas and enjoys his 3D dimension lifestyle. And there's nothing wrong with that. He's enjoying it, and he deserves to enjoy it. He has worked very hard, as you all have, and you're choosing your roles differently because you do have different roles, and that is completely fine. You're all doing very well.
Well, thank you. Andrew's also mentioned before, I think, that the geographical location he finds himself in, he can interact with some more dense energies, people with denser energies. Is the town that he is living in now, is that relevant to his role?
Yes, he was specifically sent back home to support that community, because his parents are big, important people in that community. They are respected, they are known. And yes, the reason why they're in a lockdown is because of those lower density energies. They needed to be encouraged to stay at home, because they will be more shocked than most. And all of the countries right now that are about to be in lockdown is specifically to control the masses from the hysteria of the information that is about to be processed through to you. So, everything is divinely orchestrated and well planned and well played out. So Andre's not the only lifesaver in his community. You all will have support. You won't just be the only ones having to do a massive amount of work. And that is going to be fine. You'll all be supported with others. So it is a big job, but you are all prepared for it.
Okay, thank you. So